Hello, I'm Danica Lorer, and this is Lit Happens, your celebration of the literary arts here in Saskatchewan. Today, I'm very pleased to welcome Sharon Speaks. The book is called Ending Abuse, a story of sexual abuse and healing through word, poetry, and song. It's written to inspire and educate. Sharon, welcome to Lit Happens.
Thank you very much for having me, and Shaw for doing this, and I really appreciate it.
So, Sharon, tell me, have you always written?
No. When my life changed, when memories came back in the early 90s of sexual abuse, I started writing in a kind of like a diary or a journal. It was just a book. And it was so that I could figure out, what are these? Are they thoughts? Are they memories? Are they dreams? What's happening here? So that's when I kind of started writing, and I just never quit.
And so what did writing do for you when you began to really unravel that through the word?
Writing gave me, I got to listen to myself, I guess, and become an observer of my thoughts. And it was cathartic, like get out everything out of me that needed to be heard. People said I would write a book, and I used to think, no, that wasn't for me, but it became a life-saving book. I wrote a book back in the 90s, and I called it Wanted Someone to Understand. And so the first half of Ending Abuse is that book, Wanted Someone to Understand. And then the second half is As Long as I Understand. And the more I wrote, then poems came out, and then songs came out. So that's been my kind of writing.
And so when you began those journals, did you think that it would turn into a book?
No, I was just trying to live through work and life, and I was 37 when these memories came back of abuse, and I was raising kids and relationship struggling, and then relationship divorce, and so everything's in there. And then confronting the abusers, going through the court process. 3 years, 5 court appearances. I put the transcripts right in the book so that if anybody else ever had to go through it and they want to know what it's like. So it's relevant now, and it's Saskatchewan history. It happened in Saskatchewan. It's reality. And it's not only my sharing, it's 17 other women came forward, and it was a priest in a Catholic church that abused me. And it was tough stuff to deal with, and it was tough to also to talk about it. Like, how death is hard to talk about? Well, sexual abuse kind of fits in that category. I used to be able to clear a room. But anyway, it's so much better now, and I thank the people that spoke out before me. I thank people that, like there have been big cases that we all know about, like Mount Cashel, the boys that came forward, their men, thank them that they did, and the Sandra Butler and Ellie Danica, the people that spoke out about sexual abuse before me. And like the Theo Fleury and the Sheldon Kennedy, I appreciate, like this is my first time on television, but they have done that. And but I noticed that it is the men usually, like that, men and boys that are out in the spotlight. Wasn't that a show about sexual abuse? Anyway, there isn't a lot about the women's history of what happened, and this is a story in Saskatchewan. So anyway.
And so it's a big step from beginning to find those memories,
Yes.
to taking it forward, to being on TV, to publish a book that you've got it out for the whole world now.
Yeah, and I called the back of the book, it says Letter to the World. So it's in my past. I've moved on, and like my life now is not a lot about sexual abuse. It's about tennis and golf and living half-time here and half-time in Arizona, and I'm a grandma, and that's the most important thing. And, but there's still part of me that says, if this can assist someone that was assaulted yesterday, or you read it in the paper, it's still front page news, a lot of it. And if this can help, well, why wouldn't I do it? And I put it online. I'm not trying to sell books myself because it's in my past. So it's just www.sharonspeaks.org. And I love that I got .org because it's like an organization. Because you listening to me supports me, and it's like the whole audience, everybody listening, is like an organization to end abuse. And when I speak out, it helped end abuse. And it makes it open in the family, in the church, that you can talk about it. And when we talk about it, it ends abuse. And so that's why I called it Ending Abuse.
And there's great power in words then.
That's right.
And as you speak, and even the name, Sharon Speaks, you've given a lot of power to the words and to the book. Now, would you like to read a very short bit for us from the book?
If I could. This is just a short poem. Oh, actually, it kind of gives you an idea. One whole chapter, chapter 12, it's just full of poems. And anyway, it's more than me did this book, just because, like, one time 28 songs came out in 18 days. So, really. So anyway, this poem is Hurt. It's written way back in the 90s, so. I still want to bawl and tell someone how hard it is, how horrible it was, but I need someone I can trust, someone who'll listen and not judge and say, it wasn't so bad, or it could have been worse, or what do you have to complain about? You have your health. If you just forget about it and get busy, get to work, forget it. It happened a long time ago. It couldn't have been that bad, or you would have said something. It was bad. If I tried to say something, I was told to shut up. You have nothing to complain about. I have enough worries, leave me alone. Right away I doubt myself, but I know what I know, and it pisses me off that I know. It'd be easier not to know, easier to pretend nothing's happening. But when I do, it's like I don't care about anything, and have no energy, just want to lay down. And I don't want that. I want a life better than I've had. I need people around me who support me in what I'm going through, that I can say anything I want to, and that I can trust that. I won't be yelled at, put down, ridiculed, but treated with respect. I don't want sarcasm or it minimized that it wasn't that bad. It hurt. It still hurts. And I do want to say I'm not just totally healed. You know, like like this week I had blisters on my mouth, and you can see it, whatever. And, you know, I'd say blistering words left unspoken kind of fits, you know. I get angry still when I read in the paper, or it's an opportunity to heal for me. And, like, it wasn't only the priest, it was abuse in my family. And, yeah, it's tough stuff, and it's in lots of families. And the response when I tell people about the book, it's rarely that anybody says it didn't happen. I don't know anything. You know, it's rare. Most people know what I'm talking about and know that it can heal.
So you've given us a gift then for people to read and to follow in what you've done, and to use words and poetry and songs to release some of that and to work on that heart.
So maybe someday you'll have me back again and I'll sing, although I could sing 4 lines. Have I got time? Or we're done?
Well, why don't you give us 4 little lines, and then we'll go off.
It's called Change, because I'll never be the same. So it goes, I will never be the same. I'm always in constant change, giving and receiving love again. I will never be the same.
Well, thank you, Sharon. Thank you so much for being on Lit Happens. You can watch past episodes of Lit Happens by going to Shaw TV Saskatoon. I'm Danica Lorer. You can find me on Facebook or by going to danicalorer@gmail.com. Thank you for watching.